Yeah, I think we on. Yep. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
First thing and foremost, want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, Great Millstone and Ruwell. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. We the brothers here at the Great Millstone, KC branch, man. It's just a little sit down class, man. Nothing too long, just through the spirit, just based on conduct and behaviors and its truth, man. As you know, we come out of the world, oftentimes we're still infested with the worldly behaviors because we've been programmed to live a certain lifestyle and grew up around certain habits and certain people. And, a lot of times we carry that into the truth sometimes. But over time and growth, start to replenish your ways in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because the scriptures say that I'll stir up your pure minds by the way of remembrance, and remembering the customs, remembering the Holy Spirit, and remembering the things that we had to do that was accountable to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. So, just a quick lesson, to help younger brothers in this thing know how to move, know how to behave, order, things of that nature, man, just to put the diversity out there. So, if anybody got any precept, go ahead, or if not, we can start with the book of uh, Hebrews 10, and I'm gonna start at verses 26. But if y'all brothers got it, y'all can bring it out.
Well, this is an important lesson, as you said, for younger brothers who may not know how to operate. When you get in a room full of elders, when you get in a room full of men that may even include the apostles, so as much as we love prophecy, we love to teach men how to become better men and how to conduct yourself around great men. I want to get that. And in Sirach, we say you would be surrounded around great men. Real quick,
Con.
this is man, if I can find it, Salakia.
Yeah, I think that's in Sirach.
Yeah, I got it. Yep, this is Sirach chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance."
Right. So, what we teach here at the Great Millstone, we teach proper etiquette, conduct, brothers are coming in their best behaviors, mannerisms. Technically, all things you're supposed to learn when you're coming up as a youth. Like the scriptures say, train up a child in the way you should go, you should not depart from it. So, coming into this faith, we basically are capitalizing on the mannerisms that should have been instilled in us, coming from a righteous standpoint. But you don't commend a man because he's handsome, because he's beauty, because he drives a certain car. Okay, like when you think about the IUIC or different Israelite camps outside of ours, their whole gimmick is appearance. You know what I'm saying? It's appearance. It's about worldly accolades, and it's about status quo, so to speak. Like we always say that Great Millstone, we're known as the bum camp. Well, they call us the bum camp because, the garments we wear and, the doctrine we teach, and they feel like we're a bunch of barbarians. But understanding the humility that we come in among each other is very essential to surviving in this truth, man. Because like I always say, if we was to go to IUIC Passover, they will laugh us to scorn for wearing this, man. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be accepted. They were like, what are you doing here? You bums isn't invited. You don't look the part." But it's not about the outward appearance, but it's about the spirit you come in, man. Go ahead.
This is one more. This is Sirach chapter 8, verse 8. It says, "Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction, and how to serve great men with ease."
Right. So when you around a multitude of elders, elder brothers, man, you listen to stories, you listen to their upbringings, you listen to their slips and falls, and ultimately it paves the way so we don't make those same mistakes, man. And when elders are giving you wisdom, like Apostle Gabar, he always go into how brothers go. He go on intermittent fasts, or he does his walks or workout, and things like that, man. That's things that we can take and we can engraft them into our being, because those are wise sayings. Because it's essential for mind, body, and health and spirit. You see? So with that being said, young brothers, when you're around older brothers, it's sometimes just best to keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Not say nothing. Just soak it all in, as we have that term. Because once you feel that you have a level of knowledge, then you feel like you're on a level, then you start to put yourself over men that's been in this thing before you. You see what I'm saying? And it's not about man pleasing, because everybody's rebukable, everybody's can get called out on the stuff that they do, but overall it's about respect and order. Okay, going back to the account of King Saul and King David. King Saul violated David in every way, but yet David still didn't speak against the Lord's anointed. He still held his peace on it because he respected the order, though he didn't approve of what Saul was doing to him. So you may have those instances in the truth that you may not like what an elder brother is doing and saying, and there's ways to address it. But overall, man, you still hold your peace and you wait for the spirit to reveal certain things, then you interject, because it's a lot of things that may rub us the wrong way. The way we speak, certain mannerisms, because like I said, we all come from different walks of life. You see what I'm saying? So we have to keep that in mind as well. Go ahead.
Sirach 32, verse 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Hmm.
Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words.
Hmm.
Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue.
And that's a big thing in Jake because we're all lions. We all want to interject our knowledge and we want to basically show that, look, we know this too. We've been doing our due diligence because every man wants to get commended for his works. But, be as a man that know it but don't speak. And sometimes that's a lesson in itself, knowing but holding your peace, which shows ultimate restraint. Because what I noticed too in Israel, even among the great millstone camps, and it's no shade to any brothers or not because we've all been in the spirit, but basically the look at me spirit, look at me, look at me, look at me, and that's cool and dandy, but also we have to know how to put that under wraps because hey, the Lord, he does things in time and season. May not be your season or your time to shine, may not be your time to interject on an elder man's glory at that particular time, but the spirit deals according, the spirit would deal when it's ready to deal. So being mindful about what to say, how to say it, and saying it at the proper time, because hey, the scriptures even tells us that sometimes you can speak a good word but it can be unwise if it's out of season. you know what you got, brother?
Quick precept.
One more, yeah, go. One more verse, Uriah, won't because it go right what that brother was saying. This is Sirach 32, verse 7 again. It says, "Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Mhm.
Let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue." Verse 9. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words.
Right, so you have to be careful too when you get too familiar with brothers. Before you know it, an elder brother will be more just like a brother, Shalom Mark, instead of addressing that man by Saquon. And we not heavy on titles, anything like that, but it's still a reverence factor, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never call Apostle Gabar Shalom Mark. I mean, he's an Ak because he's an elder brother, but I say Shalom the coin, or the apostle, Yahweh Shem Hashai, Bashim Kakada Brakatah, because I'm not making myself equal to a man that's been in this thing and serving the Lord longer than I have. And oftentimes we forget that because we're too familiar with it, or we feel in our spirit that this brother is not worthy to be called an elder because how we view him. But you don't know how the spirit of the Lord viewed his brother. You see, so we have to be very mindful. Just because we drink shakar and talk about women and all this other stuff, and we hang out, we still have to remember that hey, this is a high spirit in the heavens, man. You know. Yeah. You got go ahead, brother. You got the precept.
Yeah, kind of. This is just a quick one. Luke 14:11. It says, "Whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted." And that's just a reminder of the spirit that brothers, really should be in and try to move in, and don't get caught up on rank and titles. I was watching the camp earlier, and Apostle Ricard was going in, the brothers from Indianapolis, I believe, and he spoke about, rank schmank,
Yep.
And just be grateful for where you are and the truth that you have the truth to begin with. And that stuck with me heavy, you know.
You know what, and that's good too, because it's a flip side to it too, and that's why we say that we're not big on titles, man. Like ourselves shouldn't be really projecting our titles on brothers, but it comes more from a outside perspective of them looking from the outside in of they reverence because they fear the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't come in the door like, well, I know I'm an elder, so I'm gonna eat first. You don't know that. I mean, perfect world, then yeah, you know, you're gonna get your play, you're gonna, you know, brothers gonna serve you, of course, but you should never come in that spirit. Oh, I know these brothers gonna serve me, man, because that's a lack of humility on your behalf of it, man. And we ought to not let that go to our mindset because hey, the scriptures tells us that hey, those that is first should be last, and those that last should be first. And more responsibility you have, more is required. So the higher ranking you are, the more of a servant you have to be to the younger men as well and to the body.
Yeah, yeah. And then that's an example too, because scriptures say, "Be not a niggard at the table." So even when
Yeah.
you know, tequila and chicken is around, you know, Jacob been drinking. You know, when that chicken walk in the room, you want to make a move, man.
That bring
Hey,
nigga energy out.
yeah, yeah. Hey, did we even pray over the food first? You know, now sometimes brothers be so in the zone that we may forget and we just start digging in, but this is conduct. Did we even pray over the food first? Did the elder brothers get they select choice of the chicken first? You
Yeah.
know, did the elder brothers get they cups full of tequila and wine first?
Mm-hmm.
But that's why the scriptures say we gotta prefer one another. You know,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you didn't eat all day. This man been laboring in truth for 10 plus years, so he deserved to get his first plate.
Like, yeah, like Jake, you gonna eat, man. Chill. You gonna eat. It's enough for everybody. Even if it wasn't enough. And brothers are so beautiful, bro. You know what's so beautiful about this truth, bro? Like when we all come together, like when we go to different state camps, the Lord never misses a beat. Like you can feel that you slacking on this, but hey, another brother already got it taken care of, man. It's just like it's a perfect unison, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Just like the body. Like I remember when we was in Wisconsin, man, when we was out there, bro. We was prophesied in the blizzard. We was out there for a minute, and brothers was like, man, what we gonna eat? What we gonna eat? The brother, what's my brother's name? I forgot his name. The brother crib that we was at initially, he already had it set up. Brothers already went to the store and grabbed the stuff to already. By the time we got to the camp, everything was damn near ready. So it's just like you know, it's beautiful that that
Mm-hmm.
happens, that everything comes together as a collective. Same thing when we went down to the Ozark, man. The Lord, that was a perfect gathering, man.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Perfect. Everybody stepped up and did what they had to do, man. Especially by us being a host of that thing. You know, you brothers, you stepped up, make sure things were clamped up. You made sure that brothers were comfortable, you know, and everything fell in place as it needed to fall in place, man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. The brotherhood is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You know. But when you were speaking on it earlier, it reminded me of how the scriptures are in general about just being of conduct and being of on one accord. When you look at that analogy of uh, those that are dressed for the wedding, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the Jake that kind of get in the spirit of I could just roll up with some Crocs, some jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like spiritually speaking, you know, there's a way that you come into the body. You know what I'm saying? It's a way you know it's formal. You know, in a lot of ways. Even though we all familiar and brothers, you just you know you got to cut out a lot of that shit we got, that nigga shit we had on us in the world. You know,
Yeah.
and remember that we're an order of priests. You know.
Right, and that's another thing too, man. Like we're and apostles always go in certain men in this thing, just going through the motions, man. When you are in this thing, you have to grow. You have to have a kingly mindset, man. Certain things you just shouldn't tolerate. You gotta come when you in this truth. You have to have a standard. And me personally, brothers, y'all know me personally, man. I set the bar high for myself, bro. Y'all know I don't deal with mediocre stuff, man. I have a very extravagant taste in things, man. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be a certain way. Now, that's not to say that it will always be that way because, of course, you have to make the adjustments. But sometimes, man, you know, you look at certain things, and I know we all in the flesh, but it's like, man, you know, we got to handle that better. You got to have a better conduct, have more respect for brothers' possessions and belongings and stuff like that. You come in the brother's crib, man, ask him, look, should I take my shoes off? Hey, brother, is it okay if I do X, Y, and Z? Now with us, we we know each other, so we just come in the crib, we make ourselves at home. But we establish that rapport among each other. But we don't just go out of state and putting our feet on brothers' couches and being just on some top dog type stuff, man. Scriptures go into that, man. You don't invite yourself to the table. You allow the man to extol you first, man.
Hey, I got it. I
Yeah,
got it.
beautiful. Go ahead, bro.
This is Luke 14 verses 7. It says, and he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, when thou art bidden of many to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest the more honorable man than now be bidden of him.
Right now, I remember when I went. I'm trying to think when it was probably 2020. What year was it when I went to Cali? Was it 2020? Because it was when we
Yeah,
had
that
the
was.
wedding. It was
Yeah, that was.
2020, man.
Yeah,
No, 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 Slock. It wasn't that. It was when me and Amawan went to Texas in 2021. Now
yeah.
it was like a mishap of a situation because we got there and the Airbnb, man, beautiful spot. And my first thing, I'm asking, okay, what brother's gonna be at so we don't invade on brother spectrum. And the elder brothers, they like, man, we don't even know. We just chilling. Go put your bag wherever you want to put it. So I not thinking, I just took it up there and I put my bag in the master room. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I had asked. I'm like, hey, who's getting this room? Nobody claimed it, but I'm like, I'm just putting my bag here. But my spirit was like, man, this room is big enough for like 3, 4 brothers. I'm like, shit, we can share this joint because I just felt wrong being in the room anyway, because I'm like, why Elder Tazadak, why y'all didn't get this room? Why, the elder brother this and this and that, but find out it was because it was a lack of communication. But the elder Yashawamba, he told me, he was like, well, some brothers feel like you just took the room. I'm like, well, it appeared that way, but I'm like, it wasn't like that. I made sure I asked everybody first. But just seeing, covering your tracks, and communicating with the body and getting everybody's, involved in what's going on, it can eliminate a lot of confusion, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because from outside looking in, it's like, damn, did you even consider? But he didn't know that side of the story because he wasn't there when we asked everybody about it. But even then, another brother could have took that room for real. And that's just an example,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Luke
That's
14 and 8. Oh, you got somebody?
I was just gonna say that's the spirit of meekness right there and how we behave, and that's why you see why the Lord even kind of tells us the temperament to even kind of have around each other, which is a meeker spirit. So you're more rational and calm to think through situations like that. Where you go to a college campus or a fraternity, what kind of energy they in? That would have been a fight breaking out. Like it's that's the difference, in standard. You know what I mean?
oh, they would have poured period blood on you, man, when you slept.
Yeah, it's a lot of spirit, brother.
You
You
all
got
right? Luke 14 and 8. When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest the more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place. And now begin with shame to take the lowest room. Basically saying, nigga, hop out, bruh. Cause you didn't put yourself in a position without getting the okay, without the green light. You just assumed that was okay. So now you got shame face because you got kicked out of a spot you ain't belonging in.
Yep.
So it say Luke 14 and 9, and he that bade thee and him come say to thee, give this man place, and now begin with shame to take the lowest room. But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher.
Hmm.
Then shalt thou worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. Verse
Right.
11.
Oh, go ahead, Slocky, bro.
Verse 11. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
Right. So in many ways, don't exalt yourself. Let the spirit exalt you, man. Because by you taking a low, somebody may say, well, nah, bro, this is you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and you do that. You earned it. But always been in the mindset of taking a low. We're kings. Of course, we all like nice things. We all are in that regal type mindset. But overall, man, you just you know, you have a certain conduct with brothers, man. You don't be rude with brothers, you know. I mean, yeah, we joke around, but you know what I'm saying. You don't. You it's a matter of growing, man. Okay, and you have to see things as what it is. Something in your mind should click and say, well, look, this is how I should behave around the brotherhood. Maybe I should hold my composure. Maybe I shouldn't be this way. Maybe I shouldn't be that way. But if those things are not clicking, then you got to ask yourself, are you really examining yourself? Are you really doing the right thing? Are you really in this thing for the right reason, or you just passing by time because you ain't got nothing else better to do? You know? And I got a definition real quick for conduct. Probably should have bought this out earlier, but you know, spirit gonna do what it do. Let me bring this out. The definition of conduct. Da, da, da. Yep, here we go. And it means here the manner in which a person behaves, especially on a particular occasion or in a particular context, man. Okay, and that can go both ways. You got time that you turn up in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And you got time that you're tranquil. You got time that you're in a mirth type spirit when brothers are drinking and being married and you crack jokes. But even then, it's still a form of regalness behind it. You see? Second definition, the action of manner or managing an activity or organization. Okay. And this truth is ultimately an organization of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai because it's a business. You know, the next definition, it goes to organize or carry out or to lead or guide someone to or around a particular place. But the first definition, the manner in which a person behaves, especially on a particular occasion or in a particular context, man. And practicing conduct in your natural lives, man. You know, what you wouldn't do in your own home, don't do in another person's home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How you wouldn't talk to your parents, don't talk to a man that's in his faith like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you know, we know each other. Certain brothers are closer than others, but overall, man, looking at a brother with that godly fear, like, look, this is a king. This man is regal. I respect that brother, you know, because we all come from filthy places. We all come from different walks of life, but we always in Babylon going off.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yep. I got something real quick. If y'all ain't got nothing,
Oh, you got it.
uh, had it pulled up here too. This is the book of what is it? Luke 10, and I'm gonna start at verses 20. Whole chapter is really good. But let's start at verses 27. It says, and he answered and said, thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and love thy neighbor as thyself, man. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, how you love yourself, man, love the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? And it's not always easy to love certain brothers. It's really not, you know, but understanding what we have to sacrifice in order to get that crown, sometimes you got to take the low. You may not like this brother's behavior. You might not want him around, and that's fine. You know, we got instances that we don't want to be around certain men in the truth because they come with a certain stench. But overall, if that man is in your presence, you still got to treat him like he's a man of the Lord because he may just be. There's
Yep.
certain brothers may have drinking problems, man. You know, you may have 4 or 5 brothers that go out, but this brother in particular can't hold his liquor. So you may don't want him to go out. It ain't because you know he's evil or he's bad, but it's the fact that you don't want that type of adversity or that type of spirit offsetting what we got already. You know what I'm saying? So it's wise to move in certain pack or a certain mindset. I say it that way.
Yeah.
You know.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 13. It says, now, therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them, for in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want, for lewdness is the mother of famine. And that's basically going into just loving your brother, like you were saying, man. That goes into all of the conduct, how you treat them, you know, how are you around brothers, you know, being charitable. And it goes further. It says, let not the wages of any man which hath wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give it out of hand. For if thou serve the Most High, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things that thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation. It says, do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken, neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey.
Right, you can break it down, man.
So that's basically, a wisdom on how you deal, with brothers, not being proud, being charitable, you know.
Yeah.
And if you have that spirit, you find this a very strong energy that brothers have around each other, man. When everything is flowing, when brothers are locked into that spirit, it's a very beautiful thing, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
that's why there's so many ways the scriptures basically tell us to do this. It's all throughout the New Testament. How Shah told us how to deal with each other with the apostles. You
Mhm.
know, Tobit gives you wisdom. The book of Sirach gives you a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, and ultimately the conduct, the fruits of the spirit, man. But like like we were saying too. I mean, of course, you're gonna have those apples that don't really sit well with you. Of course, I mean, and certain things you pick up in the spirit, like, man, what's up with this? But like I said, the spirit brings everything out in due time too, man. But if you have an issue with something, you do have the right to address it. You do have a right to say, "Hey, brother, I ain't really feeling this," or you let the Lord deal with it. But don't let it come to the point that it be alt in your spirit. Certain things may be too hard for you to pull a brother to the side, and the Lord said, if it's a matter that's too hard for thee to judge, then leave it to me, and I will judge the matter. Because every man is not comfortable with taking constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Certain men get offended easily. Certain men are on edge easy about certain things. You know what I'm saying? You might, hey, you can't put a brother side. Hey, brother, your hygiene is a little. You may need to fix that. Brother may get offended at that, which that's nothing to be offended at, but you understand what I'm saying along those type of examples, man. But us as men in this thing, we have to have thick skin. We have to deal with that. We have to know that this truth ain't all about chicken wings and Casamigos, man. You know what I'm saying? We're kings,
Fact.
we're regal. You have to behave that way, okay? And and nobody got to kiss your ass in this thing either, bro. You know what I'm saying? You walking around with that complex on you, with that God complex on you. Nobody's kissing nobody ass here either. You know what I'm saying? Like you come through the door like, oh yeah, you better bow down to me. Nah, bro, we ain't doing that either. Cause you get walked right up out of here. Especially this camp, we are known for not holding our tongue and we say what we feel when the spirit permits it. You know what I'm saying? So we're not dealing with that. Brothers that come from out of town, hey, conduct yourself right. You know what I'm saying? Just like we go out of town, conduct yourself right, man. Don't come in here thinking that things or the red carpet is going to be laid out for you because you have a higher ranking. Now, we would do that because that's the order, but overall, don't expect more than what you're going to get because, hey, like I tell brothers all the time, what you see is what you get. Then that's just what it is. What you see is what you get. If it ain't good enough, then don't come. Stay where you at. Great millstone or not. We ain't dealing with that.
And through the spirit, I kind of feel like this lesson, is really just boiling down to having a good report, which is
Yeah.
scripture speak of. You not only want to have a good report amongst brothers in your own camp, but when you do go out of town, or when brothers come into your town, because you don't want to leave that sour taste in that brother's mouth, especially if you go out of town. Like, man, I don't really know if I want that brother to come back. I ain't. Hey, we ain't had that in Kansas City here. 'Cause, we love every brother that come up here, but that's so we try to avoid, man. Because that,
Yeah.
me personally, I may, take a trip to Houston once a year, but I'll be damned if them brothers like, man, that brother Taz, I don't know about him. No,
Nah.
And then just a slight side tip, if brothers is going out of town, bring gifts, man. That's one thing LD Raya told us in 2020 that I remember, man. He was like, if you come from out of town, always bring gifts, even if it's a little something, man. So
Yep.
brothers in Houston, I ain't have much bread, but I was able to get the elders some soap and break the brothers out with some incense, just something nice. You don't want to really show up empty handed, man.
Yeah.
But
Definitely,
you,
definitely. Yeah, and that's the spirit, man. Like you definitely, and I think every trip we didn't win, we didn't never show up empty. Empty. I mean, you got occasions when you just, things happen. But like, I mean, even if you just bring a brother a bottle of wine or something, man, you know what I'm saying? And like Chicago, that's a big camp. Like we can't, 100 brothers. If I
yeah,
had the money, then I'll bring every brother in the camp some. But we just the top leaderships, man. We make sure they some wine, some incense, frankincense, some myrrh. You know what I'm saying? Show brothers, you appreciate, the laborers. Of course, they don't ask for it. They're not requiring it, but it's just the fact. What are you doing? How is your works being solidified in the spirit, man? You know, so that's why I said don't be too familiar with each other to the point that you're not willing to do little things like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Couple precepts. Oh, it's like
Nah, you got it, bro.
first one is Proverbs 22:1. A good name is better to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. See, having that good and honest rapport among brothers. You know, you want to leave that impression like, damn, that's a solid brother. You
Mm-hmm.
know, brothers that I met once, I already missed, man. You know, hey, Cleveland, Cam, Shalom to y'all brothers, man. Y'all was some good brothers, man. Y'all was really down to earth. You know, we lodged together in Milwaukee. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I miss y'all brothers, man. But that's the type of rapport you want to have amongst men you run across. You don't want to have dudes like, man, I don't know about that nigga. Nah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Cleveland is the city. I want to get to Cleveland anyway, man. Hey, all right, I've been trying to get down there for a minute, but yeah, we shared the B&B with them brothers, man, and
Yeah,
it was cold blooded, bro, because you know we were just kicking it, we was chilling, bro. You know what
God.
I'm saying? Brothers got to know each other, and you know, and we're linked up, no guile, no nothing, and that's what you like, you know. Oh yeah, bring that brother, man. What such at? You know,
Yeah,
like honestly, man, when brothers can't make it, man, we be feeling some type of like, dang, man.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's what you want around you. Like the brother said, you don't want to have to be like, well, you know, I don't mind if that brother don't come back. I mean, he could come, but at the same time, it's like if he don't come back, it don't really make me no difference, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we always got Qua and Yashar to come down here. They always welcome. You know what I'm saying? It's like they second home. They just pull up. You know what I'm saying? But that's the report we got, and we love that because we already know what it is. Same thing with the St. Louis camp, man. You know, the brothers will pull up on us or whatever, man, and that'll be that. You know?
one more precept. This is Ecclesiastes 7, verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. You know, because you honestly, you never know when you might need brothers, man. Because you know, not to go too deep into the inner workings of Great Millstone, but if a brother's in the jam, hey, other brothers help out, man.
Yeah.
So how much more if you already established a good rapport amongst brothers, that's gonna want to help make them help you out even more because they know you and you know they know that you a solid man of the Lord.
Yeah. Hey, bro, like I remember, man, it was years ago, man, and you know, Jay got into a jam. You know what I'm saying? Just needed a couple of bucks for that. This is years ago, man. And brothers was like, man, he's like the floodgates open up. He said brothers was just gonna hit it up. I'm like, nah, bro, we just need this and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? But people want to help you out. People want to send you gifts because the works, man. Like, you know, people see the works and they just want to do things for you, and that's how it should be. That means that you know you're doing something good. And the eyes of Yahweh Shemi how was shy. My mind personally, I'm like, I don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like doing all this X, Y, and Z, like I don't deserve it. But Lord be telling us, like, look, man, just let your work speak for itself, man. Let brothers and let sisters, whoever, let them do things for you because look, this truth does not go without benefit. Contrary to popular opinion, man, you know, you go to Esau make you work a whole job. Like, look at what happened at Yellow Trucking. Them dudes worked 30 years in pension non-existent. The Lord doesn't operate like that, man. You know, you work and you do what you do. The Lord's gonna chop you off with things from time to time. Brother may send you a garment in the mail. You know what I'm saying? Brother may send you some frankincense. Sister may send you something. You know what I'm saying? You got Sakuras and so forth like that that help out. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and when brothers need help, then we dish out according to what we dish out. So that's always a good thing, man. Like, hey, my man Quana Wap, hey, we miss him. Shit, I was upset when he left, man. I'm still trying to get him back out here. You know, but that's what you want, bro. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You
Con.
Rob, you can read 1 Samuel 18:1 through 6.
And we got a couple of steps on the comment board. I'm gonna get off too once brother done reading that precept. But you go ahead, up.
Okay. 1 Samuel 18.
Yeah, one through 6.
Yeah.
Just 1 Samuel chapter 18, verses 1. And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David. And Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul.
So this is when King David is getting promoted in Israel. They say King Saul told him he can't even go to his father's house. He gotta kick it with the king, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It says, verse 4, and Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And,
Stop there. Behaved himself wisely, man. He knew how to act being in that position, even though he was coming from being a low level sheep herder. When he got in those positions, he didn't turn to ultra nigga 5,000, man.
right.
Even Joseph,
Yeah.
when Joseph got promoted in Egypt, he didn't turn to some ultra nigga. He still kept his integrity. He wasn't fucking Pharaoh's wife, even though she wanted the box. He behaved himself wisely, and eventually he was exalted. As Yahweh Shah said, those who are humble get exalted.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read verse 5 again?
Con. This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants.
See, he gained favor. See, nowadays, these politicians, they gain favor by lying to you motherfucking people, man.
Mm-hmm.
All King David had to do was behave himself wisely and basically keep it real, man. And everybody fucked with
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he had a good report among men, and that's why
him.
Saul was saying, because the jealousy started in the fifth verse. If you go
Yeah,
down, that's when
yeah,
basically he tried to kill. When you go down to the 10th verse, he tried to kill David, man.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Because that envy, because Saul had that niggard spirit on him. Because Saul
Mm-hmm.
was a person that wasn't spiritual for one thing, and when you're not spiritual, you're looking at things of the flesh to get exalted versus the spiritual deeds. Good
Mm-hmm.
example you made was when Joseph was exalted in Egypt, but hey, going back into when Daniel was made president over the province of Babylon, man. Daniel didn't bug out. Daniel kept his integrity. You know what I'm saying? And he still served Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and they had to go to Daniel for wise counsel, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when they seen that Daniel, the Lord was with Daniel, they was like, well, damn, this is the guy we need to be following for real. You know, so when you're a man of the Lord and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you don't compromise your integrity. You don't sell out. Okay. Like some guys we know that came in on a horse, like that doesn't show humility, man. You know, like at that Passover, you got more guys that was bigging up Nate than the Lord coming in a horse, man. That's not humble. We not in the kingdom yet. So what kind of move? What kind of message was you sending to Israel with that? This is the spirit we got to be in, and that's the majority of these other groups. They're all coming at that me spirit. Oh wait, I'm that dude. I'm that guy. I got to be looked at, and that's not the spirit we supposed to come in, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Lord deal with the lowly. Go ahead, brother.
Con. This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 6. And it came to pass as they came, when David returned from from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain thousands, and David his 10,000s.
And that's when the beast came because he felt sized up, man. The whole time Saul was comparing himself to David. And you know when you got a man that had to see potential in you, he would try to do certain things to not like give you your glory type things. He'd try to keep you at a certain level type ordeal. Because he feels that eventually he's gonna take my shine because this guy don't believe in himself. But hey, Saul was even getting praised because it says they came out to meet King Saul with tabrets and with joy. So he was getting his praises too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he felt like, well, since I'm the king, that comes with a certain dichotomy of respect. So, you know what I'm saying? Why is this guy getting promoted over me? Then, hey, bro, sometimes you got people that just better. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes you just got people that's more qualified to do the job than you. Yeah, it hurts because the flesh, like, look, I want to be well rounded in everything, but certain men is just better than you. Okay, like they say, everybody got your number.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the disciples, they were kind of getting into that mode because I'm gonna get this account too. Where they was even arguing among themselves who is the greatest.
Yeah, yeah.
See, this is this is Luke 22 and 23, and they began to inquire among themselves which of them it was that should do this thing. Speaking of being betrayed, and there was also a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. You
Mm.
know, so Jake, they ain't really all the way, finished seasoning. They're like, no, I'm your Howard Shaw's favorite. Whatever it was, however they was arguing.
Mm-hmm.
But it says, and there was a strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. Right, Jake talking about, I'm gonna have the most concubines in the kingdom. And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors.
Mm.
But ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger.
Right.
And
So
he,
go ahead.
Luke 22, verse 26, but ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger. And he that is chief, as he that doth serve.
God.
Keep going.
So basically, hey, the more responsibility, then you got to be more of a servant, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mindset that we adopt. Why you think the apostles always put out all these shows? Because this is a way of serving the flock, feeding the flock, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I remember we was in Chicago years ago. Apostle Ramlaw was there, man. He cooking for brothers and stuff. I'm like, man, what's up? What's wrong with this guy? Like, what are you doing? But I didn't understand it fully. Then I got it, but I'm just like, wow, But he's doing what he can do to make his calling and election sure. Because at the end of the day, man, when you're around the apostles, man, they don't really make you feel like you're just so beneath them, man. But in Nate congregation, you probably need to have a waiting list to talk to that guy. You may have a serious matter of adultery, but hey, man, I can't deal with this right now. I'm out with dinner with my wife. I mean, you got officers for stuff like that, of course, but even then, he just know that he's that dude. You see, and that's not the spirit that we ultimately should be coming in, man. All right. Y'all brothers got more precepts. I'm gonna read some of these on the comment board. If anybody wanna piggyback on the precept you just brought out, you can elaborate on it more about Kusha. Checking out
Yep.
these steps. God. Well, this is the book of this is hopeful elect Arizona 144. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 11. It says, and that ye study to be quiet. It says, and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. Con. Good
Yeah,
precept.
well,
Yeah.
that speaking on that, man, the apostles always say before you are a man of the Lord, you got to be a man first.
Yeah.
So that's just conduct in general.
Mm-hmm.
Apostles always said every brother in GMS should be having a job.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
we know certain brothers' situations is different than others, but for the most part, brothers should be making the effort to live by themselves, man. Get their own spot, get their own current situation, so you don't have to be relying on anybody.
Right. And that's good you said that too, man, because you know what I'm saying, like that's why I said going into like being that regal mindset, you should want your own stuff, man. Like I said, I know situations happen, but it's ways to work around everything, man. I mean, like, get you a decent gig. I mean, they giving away jobs now, man, and try to have your own place, your own vehicle. You know what I'm saying? And do what you got to do, man. You just can't just be living off people just because. Like me personally, man, I mean, yeah, brothers come over here and crash, but me personally, I don't want nobody living with me. You know what I'm saying? That's just my spirit. If you ain't my woman or my kid, you can't. I mean, let y'all brothers, y'all in the jam, then fine. Cool. No biggie. But this is a fucking studio, bro. Like, it can't be 3 or 4 of us in here like that. Like in the ancient world, you had guest house. You ain't going to lay up with a man and his woman is in the room and I got to go to work and yet you sitting on the couch playing Xbox and my woman is in the room all day. That ain't how this ain't how it get down. You had guest house for that. This ain't that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't want to be living with other brothers, man. Now it does happen if you have to stay with a brother, cool. But this make that a temporary means, man. Get off your tail and do something.
Yeah.
Straight up, man. Like it's too much of that going around. You know what I'm saying? And brothers, they roommate, they both come together on the rent. That's cool. Like, hey, brother, I can't really afford it. You know, we both in the jam. Let's put our money together. Let's get a crib. Let's get a two flat, a duplex, man. I got the upstairs apartment. You got the downstairs. This is yours. It's mine. And bam, we come together and make it work. That's beautiful, man. We could do that. But overall, man, it's just like, look, get your own stuff, man. Straight up. Me personally, I don't want another man stand with me. Call it what you want. I don't want no other man stand with me, bro. And that's me.
Yeah.
Period. Because you know what I'm saying? This house is open for brothers, of course, but like I said, I got my own life. I got my own problems. I got my own things I have to deal with. My wife might have to come here and stay with me. You know what I'm saying? She and our kid, or however you want to do it. That may have to happen. Now what? I'm forced with the situation. Now I have to choose.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The man gonna choose his woman and his kid. I don't give a damn how righteous you are at the end of the day. I ain't gonna kick my wife and my kid out because you need to stay here. Now we can put the funds together and help you get something, but eventually, no, man. Get off your tail and do something, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
And stop putting yourselves in predicaments that you can't get anything. Yeah, things happen with all of the messed up situation, but don't get yourself in no trouble. Don't go out there and do nothing stupid, man. Don't go out there and like a lot of us coming in. Jake, credit is horrible. You know what I'm saying? And you need credit in this society to survive. Be honest with you. We need credit, man, and credit is horrible. How you messed up so bad you were 18 years old to the time you 25 years old, you cannot get an apartment in your name, you can't get a car. What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing?
Right. Keisha got that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Keisha got that. But that boils down to, also finances. I mentioned this early in the lesson I did today. Jake gotta be smart with their finances, man. If you ain't really got $1,000 saved up, man, you don't need to be out there drinking, trying to try to play a big fucking baller at the bar, man. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So sometimes Jake gotta learn how to, chill out, stack their money up. So, earlier in the lesson, we was kind of going to conduct around brothers, but this is about conduct in your own personal life, being a man of the Lord, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, and another thing too, man, like this whole thing, like if you ain't got your own spot, then why you trying to talk to all these women? When you gonna take
Yeah,
them? I mean, they got
sneaky.
their spots, you gonna crash there, but eventually somebody gonna get tired of something. I can't
Mm-hmm.
say I got 10 wives and I ain't got stable income to take care of
Yeah,
these women. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
You don't want to be like that nigga Cole off Martin, man.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, yeah,
hey, he was clipping his toenails and stuff. Hey, you remember he was clipping the nail
yeah.
hit Gina head? You don't want to
Yeah,
be
he
like
was
that,
always
man.
at his homie's house because he stayed at his mom's and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Brothers like gig work is always cool. But at the same time, you gotta have more consistent income. Like, I mean, selling candy bars 80, 90 hours a week ain't gonna cut it, man. You gotta have something that you need to be taken care of, man. Gig work. A lot of brothers do gig work. But like, certain brothers like I ain't working for nobody. Look, man, nigga, you in Babylon, bro. You gonna do something. You in Babylon, bro. You ain't in the kingdom. You gonna work for somebody. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So get out that spirit. Go out there and get you a damn job or something, man. Hey, I hate working too. I hate working for Esau too. But hey, honestly speaking, I like to come home to my own place and turn on my own TV and do what I want to do when I want to do it. Something as simple as that is a peace of mind, man. And these brothers can attest to that because they do the same thing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, quick precept.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 17. It says, Thou therefore gird up thy loins and arise and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. And the main point of that is the gird up part. And part of that gird up, when you come out here into the truth, man, is just having basic things taken care of, man. And remembering you're a part of a body and that you're going to be relied upon. So if you're in messed up situations, you know, and you're not really able to be there for brothers because you fucking off and not doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, and you're becoming more of a liability, you know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we have to do when we go into this walk is gird up, man. You know, get basic and fundamental things taken care of so you can, you know, be the best that you can for brothers, you know.
Yeah, because ultimately, yeah, and even doing the work of the Lord, it costs money. It ain't free. It ain't free to do this live stream. I've got to pay the phone bill. You know, the do the live stream. You need gas to get to the camp, man. You know, all these. This ain't free. You know,
Wi-Fi.
you know. Couple more precepts, man. Matthew, this is the brother. What's his name? Yanaga Israel Benjamin 144. Matthew's 18:2. It says, and Yahweh Shai called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as this little child, ye should not enter to the kingdom of heaven. And the Lord used that child because the child represents innocence and humility, man. Okay, child have a certain sense of innocence about them that certain things they just not gonna do, and the things that they do is because they have no understanding on right or wrong at that time. All right, but it says, whatsoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Right, because like I said, a child's mindset is that of being innocent, humble. Though child do childish things, but overall, the nature of children is that of being innocent, man. And it says,
Yeah,
and whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name, receive it me. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, which believeth in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he were drowned in the depths of the sea, man. Okay, so not to offend. Offense is
yeah.
a big thing in this truth, man. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You can offend and not even know. It's like it's real. It's a tight rope, you know. And on top of that, you shouldn't have you shouldn't be you shouldn't be that sensitive either. That to the point, brother, get on you. You know, all of a sudden now you ready to do 10 videos on him about what kind of person you think he was. Like I remember that brother got drunk at the bar and he cursed out the whole camp. Now all of a sudden you got a laundry list on how you feel about this brother all because he told you about yourself. Wait a minute, man. Grow up, Jake. You know, it's too much of that backbiting stuff going on here, man.
Right.
And as your brothers are seeing, I'm trying to use better verbiage, trying to cuss, not use as many obscenities. I think this is the long I've done a video and I didn't use a so-called cuss word, man. But it's with
Yeah.
growth, you know.
Going
It
to
ain't
that
always
brother's precept. Oh, sorry.
it ain't always FUMFU da 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 da. Nah, man. You know we
Yeah.
balance things here, man. You know.
Mhm. Hey, but going to that precept being as a little child because children are sponges, man.
Mm-hmm.
All they do is soak things up, and you can learn a lot of things off things that's not directly told to you being around the brothers. You learn you learn a lot if you pay attention on how to move just by watching other men move around other men. It may be your first or second time being around a large group of brothers. You don't know how to act, man. Just see how the other brothers is act. Or in a you sitting down in the council. This your first time in the council. Brothers getting put on the hot seat. Just see how other men is reacting, man.
Mm-hmm.
See, hey, but that's another thing that brother was going into, man. That counsel, because counsel and rebuke is a heavy is of high importance in our culture as Israelites, man. If you're not mentally raised up to deal with another man telling you about yourself, you need to pray to Yahweh Shema Shah, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that show what kind of character you got, man, when you able to take the rebuke. Because we come from a world that embarrassment is always humiliation is like the worst thing, bro. Like you remember like when we was in school and we end up doing something in school and the room is quiet and everybody call your name and the whole class look at you and you just like, man,
Ooh,
that's like ooh, you be ate up in the inside. So you carry those particular emotions from the world over into this truth. So ultimately, when you brother getting on you, man, you be like, dang, man, you feel embarrassed because you want to measure up to men around you, which you should feel embarrassed, because you do want to measure up, but you have to be spiritual enough to know. I know these men are doing this because they just want me to be better, man. When you look at men that don't have nefarious motives, and you just got some guys out there, they just looking up push their rank on you and make you feel like nothing. But you got to be in the spirit to be able to dissimulate between both, man. Because if not, you would be in trouble. We all been in that hot seat, man. Hey, we went to Wisconsin, man. We got rebuked, but I knew it was coming, man. I just knew it when Apostle Car came. I was like, man, the Spirit told me. The Lord told me. He said, hey, the Spirit finna get on y'all. The Spirit just told me. I was already like, I'm like, I already know. I'm like, it just, especially when I knew he was in that spirit. I'm like, yeah, we finna. I'm like, yeah, we finna get cursed out. Whole room got cursed out. You know what I'm saying? But you just kind of know. I'm like, yeah, it's finna go down. But we dealt with it, and we improved. And Apostle Christ like, man, I feel bad for you brothers under the camp leaders. They gonna cuss you out, man. You know what I'm saying? And I got on the brothers, man. And then we hopped on it. We all learned together. You know. So
Quick scripture, right? This is
yeah,
Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Now, we say this when we speak of, just being ordered with Esau laws, follow the laws, do whatever the fuck this man tell you, but also amongst the body, these are powers that we dealing with. As brother said, these are high spirits in the heavens, man.
dignitaries.
It's Romans 13:1 again. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive themselves damnation.
So hey, that's double fold. We use that on Esau all the time, but man, at the same time, and you may have a guy over you that you might not like.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? You may have a guy over you that you don't like in the world and in the truth. You
Yep,
don't have it, but it's like I ain't really vibing with this dude's spirit. Like, like certain, like you may look at like Johanna, like me personally, I wouldn't make it in that camp, man, because I'm like, this guy ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But even in the Great Millstone, you may have a leader that you may don't even vibe with. You may be like, man, if it wasn't for the truth, man, we probably be in some stuff right now, because certain men just have that spirit. You know what I'm saying? We dealt with that in this camp a couple years back, man. Like with things, you have to get things in order, man. They just really wasn't vibing with the leadership like that, man. Me, I didn't really care, but it just like, look, man, it's either you here, or you not. Because men have a certain sense of pride that they feel. Well, look, man, I'm not gonna let a younger man tell me what to do, regardless, man. I don't give a damn how long you been in the truth. Well, you find yourself up out of here with that spirit, man.
right, right. You're not in this truth to serve men. You in this truth to serve Yahweh Bashem Shai, man.
Mm-hmm.
Figure that out. You not just in your truth to serve. I mean, we gonna honor our camp leaders, but you just not just dedicated. No, man, you in this thing for Yahweh Bashem Shai. Yahweh Bashem Shai want you to listen to that man. So now what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. God. Um, this is the book of yeah, we gonna we been going, damn, time go fast, man. But we
Yeah,
gonna read a couple more precepts and then we gonna shut it down. This is the brother again, 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Yeah, grow up, Jake. Grow up, man. You know what I'm saying? You still whining over who took the last piece of chicken. Man, I wanted that last piece of chicken. Grow up, Jake. For real, man. You want some chicken, bro? We'll go down. We get you some chicken, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the same time, consider if that brother ain't eat, then you know what I'm saying? Because hey, we got some lions, man. Jake eat. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you ain't in the room, you ain't get you a plate. Then hey, Jake, you missed out. But even then, we make the proper accommodations. Like, all right, bro, we got you, bro. We got you, bro. We ain't gonna let you go without. But for you to throw a tantrum and to sit in the corner, man, I wanted that piece of chicken. Grow up, bro. Like we go get you some chicken if it's that deep. You know what I'm saying? 1 Peter 5:5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves to the elder. Yeah, you younger brothers, man. Submit to the elder brothers, man. Okay. Yeah, all of you that be subject to one another and be clothed with humility. For the Most High resists the proud and give it grace to the humble, right? So that's what it's about, you know.
yeah, yeah. Brothers gonna ask you to bring a bottle they can't, or not the camp, but to the spot, to
Yeah.
the get together. Brothers gonna ask you to make a store run.
Go to stove.
Brothers gonna ask you to pick up brothers from the airport.
Yeah.
Brothers gonna say, hey, you need it. Hey, can this brother stay at your crib? Or, hey, brother's gonna ask you for a ride to work.
Yeah,
Whatever it is, man.
yeah. Hey, and you know, those of us that's been in this thing a while, we already know what role. Like, hey, brother, you know, we got brothers coming in. We already know. Go to the store. Don't let me go. Just go and knock it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Or you out, hey, brother, man, what y'all want? And brothers are good about doing that. Y'all need some X, Y, and Z. I'm at the
Yep,
store right now. Let me go ahead and do this and that.
yep.
You
Before
know.
you pull up, make sure there's nothing brothers need. Cause you know, we all sometimes we be moving too fast, we might forget something. So if you know you're running a little bit behind, at least make that courtesy call. Hey, brothers need anything before I pull up? Whoop de whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, brother.
Yep, and it takes time to get these things, man. I mean, it takes time. You know, it takes
Yeah,
practice. Because, like I said, we
yeah,
all come out of a tainted world. I'm not gonna say that we always the most considerate batch of people because we're not.
yeah.
I'm just being real. We're not.
Yeah.
Romans 12:9. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. GMS must endure by shalom, brother. John 13:35, it says, by this shall all men know that ye are my disciples if ye have love towards one another. That's right.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one, bro. Like, I mean, people should see it. Like, damn, these men are like, really, they got a bond like no other. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. You
Mm-hmm.
Right.
know, like,
Con.
at the end of the day, it's really just us, man. It ain't our families, it ain't our women. You know what I'm saying? It ain't our children, but it's us because we got this understanding and knowledge. Like, I
Yeah.
always say, push comes to shove when all hell break loose. I'd rather be around them before I'm around somebody that can't have my back, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm around 3 or 4 other men that think like I do. We can come together and do something big versus somebody that just literally looking for you to all the answers and you out here not even have knowing. So it's just like, man, brothers, man,
Yeah.
I
definitely.
got one for that out real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is man, I can't find it.
Hold
But
it.
it's basically when Yahweh Shah said, you shall know my servants are how they treat each other, man. Because
Yeah,
brothers, we done gone out and group in the world, and people won't even they be thinking like, who the fuck is these? Because we don't treat each other like niggas, man.
nah,
You know,
right.
we buy each other drinks. We may buy brothers meals. Bro, trust me, I worked in restaurants. Niggas in the world don't do that.
Nah.
Everybody pay their own separate tab.
Yep.
Sometimes like, hey, brother, I got everything on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Con.
Con. Yes, sir. That's right, man. His brother Yahweh saw GMS Ha Gabar the Rock. This is the book of Luke 17:1. It says, then he said unto his disciples, it is impossible, but that offenses will come, but woe unto him through whom they come. It says it were better for him that a millstone were hanging about his neck and he cast in the sea than he that should be offended in one of these little ones. Yeah, man. Because like I said, you don't really want to offend brothers. Now things do happen. Things are said and certain times temperatures do flare up. But ultimately, you know, sometimes you gotta be told about yourself too, man. But you don't just go off and offend people because you want to, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have that Andre the Giant attitude when you come in, you know, to a brother's house, especially if you come from out of town, man. You come from out of town, you treat brothers with respect, man, because it's an honor for you to be there. It's an honor for them to have you. You know, like though Chicago is my hometown, I love it. You know what I'm saying? And you know the brother's house is open, but you know you still have a certain conduct about you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go just spend a night on LD Riot's couch because I can do that. Nah, bro. I'm like, nah, go do your own thing after that. You know what I'm saying? And that is what it is. And certain brothers have a little bit more wiggle room with other brothers. Like me and Yaki, we get together and we talk stuff because, you know, we got that type of relationship, that type of dynamic. But it's all love. It ain't no disrespect behind it. You know what I'm saying? I still respect them because, you know, through the spirit, the Lord raised them up to bring me forth to the truth, man. So, you know, you have a certain sense of reverence to them. You know what I'm saying? So it would never be any disrespect there. But other men may see our relationship and how we get down. Like he was giving me stuff, man. When I told we were supposed to go to what was the state we were supposed to go to see the Spence fight up there with the brother,
Nebraska.
Nebraska up there with the brother Raheem, man. And I was on the phone with Yakia and stuff like that, man. He said something like, "Oh well, so you ain't coming." I'm like, he like, "Man, you ain't coming." I'm like, "But shit, nigga, you ain't come down to the Ozarks and you was invited." You know what I'm saying? But it was just all love though with that. But it wasn't no offense in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how we, that's how brothers deal. It's all love. But beautiful, man. I got one more precept here, then y'all brothers got it after that. But this is the book of Sirach 40 and 28. It says, "My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better is to die than to beg." Yeah, and that's a big thing, brothers, man. Don't be on that begging stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brothers' hands are already stretched in because we're in a collapsing economy. So, be considerate, man. If you are living beyond your means, or if you can't afford to live in a situation that you're in, then you may have to make some changes. Changes isn't always easy, but still, man, it's better for you to make changes before you put a burden on a whole body to fix your situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But even on the flip end of the coin, I did this lesson a couple years back. Jake, you can't be too proud to ask for help, man.
That too.
If you know funds is running short, hey man, you gotta reach out to the body.
Yeah.
Now, as a man, it might not feel good. Hey, brothers, I need help. But guess what, man? Brothers gonna come through for you. And I know brothers in this camp can attest. And I have personal testimonies where I've been down, bro. I have points where I only had enough to pay my rent and like $5 after that.
Mm,
But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, the brothers looked out for me, man. So you can't be too proud at asking for help, man.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Con.
Kind,
Right, bro.
kind.
Con.
I have one last precept.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 30. It says, "The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat." You know, let's talk about that's the basically back up the whole lesson. It says a good report maketh the bones fat. So that's the thing that we always want to strive for when we're around brothers is charity, and leaving a good report. Remember that the angels are reporting on us too, man.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
other thing. The other thing you might be thinking about brothers under your breath, you know what I mean? Like, just be on point, man.
Yeah.
And it really just goes back to respecting and loving one another, really. It sounds simple, but, once you get among the brotherhood, you can see how complex it can be. And you just got to remember those things, have that love in your heart and respect, man.
And it can't be fake. It got to be genuine, bro.
Right.
Because like
Exactly.
it's very complex because you have all different types of spirits in this thing, bro. You got
Mm-hmm.
fiery spirits, you got tranquil spirits, you got mediocre spirits, you got some docile spirits, you got all types of spirits, and you got to know how to blend in, man. You know what I'm saying? Brothers bump heads all the time because we in the room of alphas, and me personally, sigmas. I believe a sigma is a whole nother level of an alpha. People look at the alpha male as being the top, but if you study the whole thing of alpha and sigma, a lot of times the alphas look up to the sigmas because the sigmas you just can't figure them out. They're alphas too, but they're more kind of like to themselves, and they just kind of watch everything, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but you got those type of spirits, man, that you got to know how to balance yourself out. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you look at bro like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you even? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing, Jake? Like, chill. But like I said, we're men. At the end of the day, we make mistakes. We're fallible, and it's just a matter of growth. Because hey, in the kingdom, hey, we gonna have it all figured out. But anyway, if y'all brothers ain't got nothing, man, y'all got something?
One last one.
Yeah, bring it out.
This is First John chapter 4, verse 15. Whosoever shall confess that Yahushua is the Son of the Most High dwelleth in him, and he in the Most High. And we have known and believed that the love of the Most High had to us. For the Most High is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in the Most High, and the Most High in him. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in the world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. If a man say, I love the Most High, and hated his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love the Most High who he hath not seen? And
Mm.
this commandment we have from him, that he who loveth the Most High love his brother also.
Yep. Because hey, the Lord said, "Hey, show me, the love that you show me. You show the disciples, man." So that's just an indication there of how we treat each other and how we believe in how about Shemi Hawashai, because he represents the brotherhood. Those guys out here that ain't right, they gonna get weeded out. But even the ones that ain't right, you treat them right too, man. To the best of your ability. If you can't really have any dealings with them, or if you can't really say anything positive or anything like at all, don't even deal with them. Period. Shalom and bye, man. And keep it pushing, but don't disrespect them. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he's just being a niggard and just being just extra, then you got to say what you got to say. But regardless of that, man, that man will hang himself. So that give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, by Shem, Yahweh Shai, by Shem Rakabadash. I'm going to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the whole select. Lord's will, you brothers and you few sisters out there that watch were edified until the next lesson. Shalom. Baba.
Blah, blah, blah.